Goody fam, it's your favorite Cuzzo's D,
And your boy DJ G.
and you are not vibing with
This Strings on Me podcast, baby.
Pull Up, niggas, pull up. All right,
What
we
up?
got the night up in this bitch, bro.
Man, so tonight, y'all, we got a special treat. We got the queen. You hear me? We got the queen. I know y'all don't know the queen, but y'all gonna know the queen after this is all over.
What's that?
Okay. Yeah, what you say now, Chuck? Okay. So tonight, our special guest is the entrepreneur of Style 73, the wonderful, the fabulous, the queen.
And that's a show right on.
The queen, man.
Queen.
Meoshuh Jackson, baby.
Hey.
All up in here for the queen.
Goddamn.
Yeah, for the queen, goddamn.
Not Miss Jackson if you're nasty, nigga. Just
Wait,
regular
applauding
Jackson.
for the queen.
Oh my God. Thank you guys
regular
for
Jackson.
having me. Y'all are hilarious. Thank you for having me.
Samuel L. Jackson. In this bitch.
Oh, Jesus.
Yes. So,
Thank you all for having me. It's an honor.
Oh, man, we glad
the
to have
honor
you
is
on.
ours, goddammit.
I'm trying to tell you.
Our
The
honor.
pleasure is ours. It's all ours.
All ours.
All ours. So the perfect topic for tonight, y'all. We wanted to talk about birth
But
in all
Ooh.
areas. In all areas, and it's not just birth in itself, but even birth of the nation that we trying to build, y'all.
Mm.
that's a movie.
Yes.
Yes.
That's a layered topic right there.
Being that Nat Turner of the day, with everything that we got going on, and how we can, get to that point to where we start to work in new blueprints, new avenues to build a new community, And I really been feeling strongly about that this week. That's why I was like, hey, I need you on here, girl. Because I need to talk about this thing and really break this thing down. Now, all of us came together some years ago, and we was really talking about starting new traditions. You remember that conversation?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And how to do things, just differently with our kids. You know what I'm saying? But still hold those, fundamental things that we grew up and we raised.
The values.
Time.
Them values.
Yeah, because you don't want to break the system that built us.
Right.
But you do come to a point where, hey, you renovate.
Well,
You know what I'm saying? You got to make it in.
Well, we grown now, so we know where they fucked up at. We pick up and not fuck up at. We just improve. It is.
In a nutshell, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, y'all did great, but it's
Yeah.
you fucked
Yeah.
up. So I know not to do that. So in a way, you didn't fuck up. You didn't. You did what you needed to do, so I can know what not to do. So when it's time for me to do, I do. See,
Right.
like that.
So we make it do what it do.
Good facts.
Make it do what it
Absolutely.
do.
Absolutely.
So
I'm with that.
what does it take to make that happen? You know what I'm saying? Nobody understands birth to me, or woman understands birth. In all areas, man. So when I ask that question, I'm thinking of so many different things. Watching this pitmaster, right, on TV. His name is Rodney Scott. He out of South Carolina. Dude is amazing, right? But he was told the story about his father and how in his father's day, it was all about you work hard, no play. Work. You know what I'm saying? And you'll be successful. And he told a story about how when his graduation came, like the day he graduated, he thought he was going to be able to, go have some fun, because he was always working with his dad. His dad had this big barbecue business and, they was doing their thing. But he said on his graduation, he didn't even get the chance to go and have fun. His father was like, hey, I need you to come to work tonight. So he walked the stage and went to work, and it came to a point where his father ended up having a stroke, right? So he ends up having a stroke, and now him and his mom are stuck with the business, but the business is not going the same way. And now he's having to reinvent, you know, to get it to go further.
Okay.
And his daddy didn't like his ideas. Like, he was against his ideas, but now he's a pit master. He got restaurants everywhere now. You know what I'm saying? So he went from something that was born to something being reborn, you know what I'm saying, in a different light, even though the concept was still the same in a way, but them changes had to be made because, I mean, times is changing. You know, like when me and you was discussing how, you know, it was different in our day. Everything was personal, you know, but hell, in our day, a lot of it had to be too, because we have all this technology and shit that we got right now. So their day is different. Like, their personal connection, when I look at my kids, Skype and Zoom and all that shit is they personal. You know,
still be personal.
Whereas in our day,
these youngins.
I mean, it is a choice. I'm not saying it's not, you know, but hell, it was a choice for us too, to go outside or stay indoors. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, when I look at it, even the way the world is shaping, it's a different world.
Absolutely.
You know, than it was a day when we was coming up. So how do we go about, you know, reinventing, giving birth to something new, you know what I'm saying, so that we could make some real changes?
So are you speaking in reference to, like, just as a community, as the Black collective?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely as the Black collective.
Yeah, that's all I really wanted to hear about.
Because that's all that matters. Like, why would we talk about any other community?
I mean, everybody else seems to be doing just fine. You know, so they're doing great. You know, they have communities. They actually have communities. We have areas that we live in. They have communities, like little cities, and shit like that. I think
that I mean, so this answer, or there is no one right answer. This is an answer that is so layered. There's so many different facets to it. So I'll just give a piece of my perspective. I think that by and large, we have to consistently embrace the village concept. And so it doesn't just take a village to raise a child, but it takes a village to even continue to raise an adult as well. And I think that we have gotten, as a collective, we've kind of gotten away from the village mentality. I mean, so like we talked about growing up, just even on our block, let's just make it real simple. Just on the block, it was like, it wasn't just Granny in the window watching us. It was like Miss Jones knew what we was doing. Miss Scott knew what we was doing across the street.
Creepy ass Miss Scott, Mr. House.
I mean, it was creepy as I don't know what, but they knew. They you know, they held us down. They kept their ear to the streets. Yeah. Okay, so they kept their ear to the streets. You know, they knew. And so just even something as simple as that, having this collective and this village mindset that says, I am not to myself. And it's okay for me to acknowledge that I do need you. But I think that as we as people have gotten more things and more access, it's kind of given us this jaded idea of having arrived. And it's like, oh, now I don't need you. I got mine, you get yours. And I just think that, kind of like similar to what Demetrius said, it's like, as a collective, I think that if I know what I'm good at, then it's my responsibility to pay that knowledge forward, to share that knowledge forward. Then you make up the deficit that I lack by paying your knowledge forward. And then our deficits are made up when Demetrius fills in the gap, and then the next person, and then the next person. So I think as a Black collective, we progress when we acknowledge that, okay, where she's not weak, I'm strong. So let me fill in that gap. That's one aspect. And then also, I think that, I just lost my train of thought, but I'm just going to continue with what I was saying. But again, I think that if we continue to align, again, our strength with one another, then we can get much further. And then also, I was just about to say it and I just lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, that was what it was. I think it is. But this, I got it now. I got it. So I think that, so let's just take the George Floyd tragedy.
Yes.
I was actually surprised and even slightly outraged, more so by the dissonance that I was seeing amongst our people, because I'm like, we don't see that the common root here is systemic oppression. It's systemic, right? Like this is what the issue is here, whether it's the police being able to kill our Black brothers and sisters and get away with it, or the looting and the rioting. All of it is rooted in systemic oppression in some way. It's just different branches that's sprouting out from that same rotten root, right? And so I think sometimes we can't get beyond because we don't recognize what the common enemy is. We don't recognize it for exactly what it is, because you don't always know what to fight until you're clear on, you don't always know how to fight until you're clear on what it is that you're fighting against and what it is that you're trying to build. So I think a village mindset, having vision is absolutely important. And then knowing when it's okay now to pass the baton to the next generation and they remix the vision that you had. It's okay because you had a vision for your time. And then it may not look like that for the next generation. So that just kind of speaks to what you was just saying. We had a way that we did things, and our parents had a way that they did things, and you run the race until you get to that point. And then you pass the baton to the next generation to be able to, because there's so much creativity that comes to the young. The young have the energy. Yeah, and so, and they have the vitality. And so it's okay. Like, it's a purpose to it. There's beauty in growing older. You have the wisdom, but the young people have the creativity and the energy and the vitality to get things done, to get it done. So there's a need for every aspect of strength, vision, creativity in the village. Everybody absolutely matters. But yeah, I think that for me, yeah, it's getting back to that village mindset and just and having vision, being flexible, and really getting a clear understanding of what goal are we trying to reach. And that's how you can best formulate, your approach.
Amen to
what I'm talking about. I like that. Jump on that. What you were saying reminded me of the late Chad Bossman. What he said. You don't know what you're fighting really till you get knocked down.
Yeah.
Then you know exactly what you're fighting.
True.
It's tough because I'm kind of in the middle. Y'all in the same generation, and I'm like in the middle here. I'm
young guy.
3 years there. Just because you look 57 don't mean you're 57. All right? Okay, so let's take it back with your smooth looking Dos Equis ass. All right, now, as I was saying, before Dos Equis man cut me off, the debauchery.
No, right?
The debauchery of
the fact that you laugh so hard at him roasting you is hilarious to me.
Because he understands. Everybody can get it.
I love it though. I love it.
For everybody.
I love it. I love it.
Kids, I don't discriminate. It takes a village.
It does. It does.
This is a village matter right here.
Solely, I wholeheartedly agree with you when it comes to the village mentality, because I see that steered away from that completely, and more so the generation after, well, not directly after me, but after them, it seems more so like all of this technology is more so raising them. And then you have the little in there that most of the people, when they had kids, they start having kids younger. So like you're a kid having a kid, it wasn't like you grown and you having you like 16, 15, popping out a kid, you know what I'm saying? So when your kid trying to go to the club, your ass trying to go too. You like, what the fuck? Like, no, damn it. No, I'm not. No, I'm going out tonight. All right, so it's like that plays a role in it. So
right, you're watching the kids today. Now, our mama's going out. You watching your younger brother.
You watch yourself.
You watch yourself, okay?
So it's like that plays a part in it, and then it's also, like you said, systematic racism that plays a part in the pieces that they put down to always, even if you don't notice, control you. It can be in your music. It could be what you see on the news. It could be what you watching on TV. No, fuck that. It is what you see on the news. It is what you watching on these TV.
Absolutely.
The music that you're listening to. All that, it programs you without you knowing. It's a lot that goes into it, and it's only with our culture. It's really only with our culture in the United States. Now, if you go over to like the other states, they getting fucked up in other ways, and they love to come over here. So they're like, yo, this is y'all version of poor. Y'all niggas get to lay on the street. Nigga, I got to lay on glass. You know, like, they are getting fucked up. Don't get me wrong. And they come over here and live the dream. They like, I love to make homeless. Where y'all niggas at? I would love to come over there and sleep on the street and on the cardboard. What the fuck y'all talking about? Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what y'all get to do. This is heaven. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but the United States is such a bully. Like, and they have such this veiled over everybody. Like, this is the place where you come to be the shit. And for everybody else but us, it's fact. It's like everybody else come over this motherfucker and thrive. Like, they will give them land.
Yeah.
Like, yo, come over here, build your shit tax free. And but at the same time, when they come over here, what we lost, they never lost. Like, they took all our shit away. And we had to figure out how to rebuild that family structure and shit like that. From as soon as they kicked us out of slavery, they like kicked our ass out, but we wasn't mentally out. And a lot of us didn't even leave the field house. They're like, well, shit, I don't really got nowhere to go. Right. I'm free, shit, but not really. Like, nigga, so where am I going? They give me
you can make a conversation on slavery comical. Like, only you can make this funny.
Like, if you was a free, you had all this shit happening to you, right? You just got whipped the other day. You just got whipped. And they like, hey, yo, you free. I can't tell you what to do no more. Where the fuck you going? Like, it ain't like you can just go to a house where free slaves at and you like, yo, shit, I'm free now, nigga, drink up, pull up, party. You have nowhere to go. So it's like, most slaves was like, well, you know what, can I just stay here and work for you? Steal.
Yeah.
So they went from not making shit to making a little bit less than not making shit. So like, now you make a penny. So you went from making free, now your ass make a penny. And you can put it over there. Not over here, but over there, you see? So all that plays, and then people, and that shit is passed down from like generation to generation to generation because we ain't had time to just sit, get that head start. Everybody has a head start on us. Like, people who immigrants, when they come over here, they stack their paper, they send it back home. You know what I'm saying? So when whoever else come over here, they set. Like, by the time they come over, they've been recycling their dollar at home. You know what I'm saying? Not here. Back home. So they come over here, nigga, I got a gas station for you. I got a line for you. I got a corner store for you. I got a casino for you. I got a hotel for you. Because I got homie Patel, his name's Shamil. That's my dog. Nigga rich. I mean, they have hotels all through motherfucking Hattiesburg. I'm like, yeah, Patel, if your last name Patel, you like most likely you own
Patel running everywhere.
He said, no, I'm just gonna be real. Most likely you own something. I'm just gonna be real. So we have that. I don't even know. And we never, it's like, I can't say that it was broken because we never had it.
Right.
We never established it. And every time we did establish it, they blew that shit.
They burned it all down. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So they came up with a super con. It's like, they made you feel like over here is the shit. What we doing over here, y'all niggas need to be over here. This is, nigga, your shit gold. It's glitter. This is where you at over here. Y'all over there with this regular shit. Y'all need to come over here with this white man shit and get this white man stuff. You know. And at the same time, we thriving really in the black community. You thriving. You teaching your students exactly what they need to be taught.
Yep.
Your food's better. You're shopping amongst yourself. Your community is growing. They're like, oh, yes, gotta stop to that. We do it. We end segregation. Integrate, like I was saying.
Integration. There you go.
A lot of the civil rights leaders was like, yo, we weren't really pushing for integration. We just wanted y'all niggas to stop saying that I can't sit here. Just give equal rights.
Right, exactly.
Do what you're doing. I don't want to do it with you. I just want to do what you were doing without getting lynched and all this other shit. So,
was it James Baldwin or was it MLK who made the statement, something to the effect of, I've integrated my people into a burning house or something.
He ran into a burning building.
He
led his people into a burning building. That was Martin Luther King before he got murdered.
Yeah, murdered.
We talked about this before. I understand people. No, our civil rights leader did not just die. You know, like, Martin Luther King died for you to know that nigga got murdered.
Yeah, he got shot.
Process of you getting the right to vote, right? So
yeah, absolutely. He didn't die for that.
You know, he wanted to live, my nigga. He knew he wanted to live. He knew he probably would die.
Make the distinction, absolutely.
And they even got more evidence that they came up in the hospital and suffocated that nigga. He lived the shot, but he ain't survived the hospital.
That's what they said now.
My man went up in there and smuggled him. So,
and I didn't know that until like recent times. I had no idea.
Like, people didn't even know about his brother, who was really doing the work behind the scenes. He died. He supposedly drowned in his swimming pool.
Wow.
So
that's how they do our leaders.
That's how they get it. Everything. They don't hide it.
Man, to what y'all saying. Do you know, me and you last week we was discussing video games. Mimi, I know you could fall into this too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But we was discussing like you make your player your character, you know what I'm saying, in the video game, and you know, you go out, you gain experience, this and this, so you can level up to a certain or conquer a certain board, boss, whatever it may be. Mm-hmm. Right. But then in listening to what you were saying on this topic, you know, you could make that same thing just for an analogy for the people who ain't really understanding what I'm saying, but they play a lot of video games. So mm-hmm. In order for my character, like for instance, D, you could relate, right? You know, you got this one character, he real strong with fire, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I want all my characters to be strong with fire too, because goddamn it, if I die and we go up against a boss that, you know what I'm saying, majorly we can kill his ass with fire, then guess what? The rest of my team is weak. Mm-hmm. You feel what I'm saying? So it's better to, like you said, teach everybody what we got so we all can be successful enough. We all got the, you know, the knowledge that's needed. We make each other stronger. That way, if something happens to one of our leaders, then we have another one. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And that's been one of them things that just ain't been there either. We always had that one leader. He was the strong, everybody gathered around him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It wasn't anybody to take his place once he got laid out.
And I think part of the challenge even in that is that people just lead in your space. Just decide, okay, what is my contribution to my people, the revolution, the struggle, whatever. So you know, even having a platform where you're podcasting, that's a contribution to the culture. That's a contribution to the revolution, to the evolution. I mean, no, nobody's saying, oh, step up and do it just like MLK did. And MLK was needed for the temperature of that time. Now, I'm not saying that we don't need a leader of that magnitude, but it's just decide, okay, what is supposed to be my contribution to the betterment of my people? What is my contribution to tomorrow looking better for my children? And then do that. So even if that means I need to infiltrate the education system, then do that. Even if that means I need to infiltrate the financial system, because I need to be able to teach my people how to procure wealth, how to secure housing, so that I can intersect some of the redlining that goes on. So I'm going to get involved in realty. So just decide, like, okay, what am I passionate about? What am I knowledgeable about, and lead in that space. We need to intercept every industry. We need to be represented in every industry, from corporations to banking to education. Oh my God, in education, absolutely. And I just think that in medicine, in science, I mean, we need to be present in all industries. So just figure out, where am I supposed to lead, and then do that. Because sometimes you can feel like I don't feel either the weight or even have the know-how to be the next Malcolm X or the next MLK. Those are calls. That's not something you just decide to wake up one day and say, I'm gonna do it. You know, it's like, I do it. I'm mad and I'm gonna do it. No.
Hey, you hear me?
No,
enough of this shit.
No, like that's not how that goes. That, to me, that is a call. That is, I feel like, a divine purpose on your life. And I don't think that that's just for just anybody to just decide to one day get up and do, but all of us can decide each day to be a leader in whatever regard we know we can manage. So you can just have a knack for just getting through to children. Okay, well then, even if you save the lives of 2, 3, 4 Black boys, young Black men, you left your imprint, because now it'll have a ripple effect. It'll live on beyond you. You want to do something that's going to live on beyond you.
Agreed.
You know what I mean?
That's facts. That's actually
like when I look at this political aspect of things, right? Mm-hmm. This is something that definitely need to change. We need to get these old motherfuckers out of here. Stop voting on old ass motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I hear that, but like we said,
hear me, you can forget that. They're not going to get the fuck up out of it. They're going to die in that motherfucking seat.
They're going to die.
And that's another problem that we have.
They're proving it to you. Like,
we know that. But I'm saying right now, we going to speak, some real shit. Real shit is these old motherfuckers need to die off.
I like that sentence better. I like that sentence
like Biden, for instance. Okay, everybody like, hey, yeah, but that's the only choice you got. This old motherfucker don't know nothing about what we.
Man, I'm voting for Kanye. If I got to vote, I'm voting for Yeezy.
I'll slap you. You better not.
I'm voting for Yeezy, baby. What you talking about?
I feel like my
Yeezy
vote
got it. Yeezy got it. Don't let us psychopath he throwing out your food, y'all. That
what he got, Demetrius? Break it down. What Yeezy got? Please enlighten me.
Yeezy got the plan. He just been playing. He been infiltrating this shit from the get-go. It's a book.
It's all coming. It's all coming together.
I can't think of the book, but there is a book out there where it talks about how the man infiltrated the motherfucking FBI. It's something at the door. I can't remember the motherfucking book.
The spook who sat by the door.
There you go. That's Yeezy. Yeah. Yeezy the motherfucking spook. Y'all need to understand what's going on right now. Okay? He's crazy, but he ain't no more crazy than most of y'all. He just out in the open with his craziness. And when he niggas take it all the way out of context. We say shit at the point because nigga what? But it's like if you sit back, he just say some shit like, he said slavery was a choice. We're not really back for them niggas. I mean, but you can say that though. Now, if you're not a slave and you like you and me, I'm like, because everybody just said this same sentence. I don't give a fuck who you are. You have said. Nigga, I'd be dead as a motherfucker if I was back there saying, nigga, I ain't going.
Oh, in essence, you're saying it was a choice when you say stuff like that.
So what you really saying though is what he said. What you really saying
is, it couldn't have been me. That's what the person is saying. It couldn't have been me.
I would die first day. I would die first day. Me. But then, like, we say that to each other, but then this nigga get on TV and say slavery was a choice. We be like, nigga, really? Did he say that? Slavery was a choice. He's like, come on, nigga. I just told you that I wasn't going.
But then he'd do something like that and act super normal like the next day when I see him on Instagram. So I'm just like, what?
But he bipolar too. So you got to understand.
So those highs and lows, okay.
Highs and lows. In that fashion of bipolar, they don't have that much of a gray area. So you're going to get what you get.
The extremes, yeah.
Say what I say and mean it. Right? What I'm saying?
Yeah.
Understand. Yeezy still college dropout Yeezy. He's still there.
I miss that Yeezy. I miss that Yeezy. I miss that
Yeezy too.
Yeah, he just crazy. And you see it's crazy. He dealing with it though. He found Jesus again. He walked with Jesus back in the gap. Now he got that nigga. Now him and Jesus is striding together. Okay, they good now. They doing what they need to do. I would vote for Yeezy before I vote for Biden ass. I ain't even acknowledging the other nigga. I don't even understand. I don't understand that shit to save my soul. I swear that was the same nigga eating paint chips with a helmet on and a hockey stick and pop-up books, and he colored all throughout school, even high school. That nigga that far. That nigga was in the, you know how you had the class, but then you had like the trailer in the back. That nigga was in the trailer back.
He was in the trailer.
Yeah, he was in the trailer in the back. All right, he the nigga on wrong turn. When you make that wrong left turn.
Oh my God.
But the house is like, hey, what you doing here? That's that nigga. That's that nigga. So I ain't going.
Yeah, understood.
Wow. Did this nigga just kick himself out? I'm gonna have to edit all this shit. If Daryl just kicked himself out.
I think he did, because he was frozen for a minute, so I was like, maybe it's on my end.
No, Darren kicked himself out. He should still have the invite. This is cool though. I can just edit all this part out like I normally do.
Oh, okay. But you can proceed with the point you were making.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm a double back whenever this nigga figure out he's not here. But it was like, no, I'll vote for Yeezy, man. I never lost faith in my nigga Kanye. That nigga just went through shit. I got family and friends like that nigga right now. And we got niggas like that in our family.
Not that crazy though. I mean, they're a little bit more consistent with the crazy. I think it's the dips in and outs that's like, but I think it's right what you said. I think if we just accept that he's crazy, we won't even be bothered by this stuff because he is a genius now. He's nuts. Yeah, but it's like, what genius that's normal? Like, what brilliant, savant that's normal?
It's not one. It's not a normal genius. Because you walk that thin line when you're a genius. They already tell you it's a thin line between insanity and being a genius. Yeah, you kicked yourself out, B. I don't know what the fuck you got going.
Man, I don't know what happened. I was like, shit.
I started talking about Yeezus and he kicked your ass out, nigga. You was doubting.
You want to work on me, motherfucker?
You was doubting.
Shit.
still.
Y'all are hilarious.
That's what I'm talking about.
So I'm gonna take a pause.
Talk about killing these white motherfuckers off. You see what happened? Big brother watching.
Let me see. I'm trying to see. I don't know where I left off, so I'm trying to see a good spot to just come back in. But all right, hold on. Jesus is that nigga. And we gonna start it right there. Jesus that nigga. Vote for Jesus. If you love Jesus. But Jesus loved Jesus because he loved everybody. Yeah, I did that there.
So if you love Jesus, vote for Jesus, huh? That should be the slogan.
Because you know what I'm saying, the niggas who voted for Trump love Jesus too, apparently. But they be the motherfuckers out there on their boycott. Fuck them niggers.
That energy, just like that.
There, boy. Not my house, not around my niggas.
Not around my niggas.
Not around my niggas. Treat them like Jimmy. What's the boy name down at the store? Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on Biden? I don't want to get too off topic, so I just want to ask that right quick.
Biden?
What are your thoughts on Biden?
My thoughts on who you want first? Me or D?
You know what? It doesn't matter.
Don't say you can go first while I drink.
So when it comes to Biden, man, you know, I mean, I just feel like he didn't always needed us. Like, for instance, he's able to run for president now because, I mean, hey, he had Obama. And now he's getting a sister, you know what I'm saying, as a vice president, who's going to really be the president if he wins. It's not going to be his old ass. It's going to be Camilla. For real. You think a sister going to take this old sugar daddy and be like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, you running the country? Nigga, you ain't about to run shit. And he know that. He about to run shit. That's why he would get my vote, because I want the sister. You know,
she's a true alpha female too. So
yeah, she's an alpha female, and she is going to run this shit. Okay, first of all,
they bad blood.
The first thing is with a sister being there, they gonna kick all that old shit out. Okay,
Hold up,
a woman being there.
Hold on. No.
We start new.
No.
Okay, so what you think?
Cause they ain't gonna, nigga. We had a whole nigga in there.
Yeah, but the nigga is different.
No shit new. What you?
Yeah, but the nigga different, man, than the female, bro.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is, bro.
They respect the.
I mean,
white folks don't even like their own white women. We talked about this.
And we talking about a black woman. Yeah.
I get that part. I get that part. I do.
Not gonna let them pass. This shit that Trump getting to do, it's historical. When it comes to the nigga to be able to sign bill after bill after bill and kill niggas when he want to kill them. They do all that.
Look at this, bro. Okay, so you got Trump in this bitch right now, right? He fucking up everything. So as soon as Biden get up in there, guess what? He trying to fix everything Trump fucked up. Okay, what I'm saying is with a woman on this team, especially a black woman, she gonna be like, fuck all that shit with this Trump shit.
The thing is,
you know what I'm saying?
Big brother, know what I'm saying? Listen to me. I don't think you understand what I'm saying.
Away from what you say, I do understand it, and I do understand that they're gonna give a woman hell. I do.
They're not gonna let that shit pass. They're not gonna let it pass. They will show you. They will lock down this bitch and let the whole United States suffer.
I mean, and you know what? I agree with that. But then I'm looking at it from a spiritual aspect too. This is the first time this didn't happen, and we can't just put it just in the carnal sense of things. You know what I'm saying?
Same shit happened with the first time when Obama becoming president. They didn't let that nigga pass a bill.
Yeah, true enough. I agree with that. You know what I'm saying? Not taking away from that, bro. Bill. I know how passionate you are about that. I'm not disagreeing with that.
Your spiritual nigga, but they ain't going. If we gonna change some shit, we gonna have to change the shit.
But that's my point. That's my point.
She in there.
What you just said.
No, she's in their system. Understand that. This ain't our shit. She's inside of their system. Therefore, she has to play by their rules. And their rules are simple.
Agreed.
I want what the fuck I want. Okay. I want to benefit my people and keep power.
So what do you think is nothing gonna change with this?
No, not really. No.
So do you think that her presence in the office is just gonna pretty much be ornamental for the most part?
That's what it's been. Like even when Obama did Obama, my nigga, a lot of niggas hate him. A lot of black people hate him, say he ain't never do nothing for us. But he wasn't allowed to do nothing for
us.
That's the agree.
They let him in as a staple. And then when he got in, they ain't let him do shit. That's why he went from black to gray in a year.
Yeah.
A year.
He did. Yeah.
They stretched this nigga out. I'm talking about he was the coolest nigga with it.
If he went from black to gray,
quickly. I'm talking about
imagine Biden gonna
jet black when he got up in there almost. He had a little bit of salt and white.
Are you wrong for that? He gonna go from gray to dead.
Fat nigga.
From gray to ghost real quick.
I'm just saying. Way to go. Just gone.
Is who he is. Like the system.
Oh shit.
I mean, it's proven. Like it's crazy, bro, and it's blatant. It's like in your face. Like hiding shit of how they feel or how they want to run things. They never have. Like they never have.
They never have.
It's just the more that you able to get this information as you get older. Like we ain't looking at encyclopedias no more. That's the good thing about technology. We ain't got to search encyclopedias for shit. You can Google and you can actually go on public record and you can find all the evil shit they ever did. And it's just boom. And you can see, like they don't hide shit. Any 2 times, all right, you had a man in there for 8 years and you ain't let him pass shit. And then you let the retard get up in there. And this motherfucker passed 20 bills. Damn, his first goddamn time. Send a hit out on the nigga that they even know he killed the nigga over there. It just pop up. This nigga just got. It felt like, so you know, I feel like it was needed. This nigga real life murderer. And here's the thing I need you to realize.
No, bro. So check this shit.
And what that nigga's on, he fucks with little girls. When he was becoming president, that
Wait a minute.
With a minor.
And now he's nominee for the Nobel Peace Prize.
Oh, Jesus.
Wait.
Did y'all hear about that shit?
No.
He's nominee for the Nobel Peace Prize.
How? Like,
as in Donald Trump?
Why?
Yes, as in Donald Trump is a nominee for the Nobel. And they say he deserved that more than Obama.
Who said this? Who said that?
Bring it up online, baby. It came into my news feed yesterday.
Wait.
So that lets you know just how much shit really changed.
Now, hold on. And then what you seeing that, you really think that Biden and my girl get up there about to make a change?
I think Biden is going to die. You asked my motherfucking opinion, there it is. Okay?
Well, there you go. You know what I'm saying? That nigga, they should have just put Bernie up there. I never was
disagreeing with my brother. I'm just saying death is coming to him and the sister's going to be the president.
That's my thing. How they put Biden old ass up in there, but we put Bernie old ass up in there?
I was riding with Bernie. I was riding with Bernie.
But the thing about it is both of the motherfuckers is old.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
right. With Bernie.
But I was rocking with Bernie though. I really was.
Look, Biden ain't really, man. Biden is like a culture vulture, nigga. He just cool. Basically, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black.
Period.
You ain't black. What the fuck you talking about?
I mean, at all. Like I'm so confused.
Back to what I was saying, right? Biden he could get the black vote because damn it, he was with Obama. So he like I'm assuring because I was with Obama, so I know I'm gonna get the black vote. You know, so he shows up to all the black shit. Even though nigga, you still don't understand what it means to be black.
No.
You don't understand me. You know what I'm saying? Or what I went through. You don't understand that shit. You know?
But let me ask y'all this, but how much of that do you all think, how much of that onus do you all think is on the black community that we are so quick whenever we feel like, oh, he relates, or oh, he you know, because you know he was calling him Uncle Joe, you know, when he was a VP, and so it was like all we need to see is a little bit of ratchetness and feel like, oh man, he got that life, and so we're so ready to attach ourselves to, you know, somebody in power that kind of speaks our language a little bit, and then it's like, boom, of course I would understand why he would think he's in there. How much have we contributed to that?
I got one.
All of it, shit.
I got one word for that. You know what I'm saying? And D, you will relate. You know what I'm saying? Django. You know, Samuel L. Pard, he is that nigga that got to have the master. He got to have the motherfucking master. No matter what. You know what I'm saying? And any nigga that the master, what is that nigga doing on that nag? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
And I always tell folks, look, this is my thing, and people be getting on my ass about this. I always tell you, it don't matter. Your vote only matters when it comes to like your local vote and like the governor of where you live. Because I mean, clearly they showed you that the power is in the electoral college.
Yeah.
And because she won.
She did. By
a landslide. By a big ass gap. But then Trump the next day was, hey, well, I guess I'm president now. Like the nigga has the mind of a first grader. Bro.
He does. He really does.
First grader that if he get mad, he throw a temper tantrum and fuck up somebody else's whole thing. You know what? I'm gonna cut off China. Don't normal grown folks say shit. Like,
you didn't do the hands. You gotta do the hands.
That's some shit your kid will tell you. That's some shit your kid will tell you when they mad at you and they got imaginary shit for your ass. What you doing? I'm building a wall. Keep me out of my room. I'm gonna build a wall because you have that grown man disease and I don't want it.
Shit.
And then this shit come around COVID. That's the Chinese disease.
Right.
Build the wall to keep them out. Yeah. You love me now, don't you?
That's Kung Flu.
Like, nigga, that's that Kung Flu.
Ain't terrible for saying that. I was like,
and nigga, the Kung Flu.
Kung Flu.
Kung Flu.
The Kung Flu. The Chinese disease. It's the Chinese disease. What?
Oh, man.
The black community, as far as hip hop and like in that eye goes to play blame on why this nigga got, because they idolized Trump before he became president. That nigga had a million raps.
Yeah, right. He was.
Everywhere. Trump
was saying. Yeah, black
became president.
That's why I was like, where did this even come from? We never even associated racism with Donald Trump growing up. I mean, like they used to. He was.
Trump was at home.
He was at home alone. I think I saw Luke talking about he used to party with him in Miami. So I was like, I'm confused. Like, what did
the man?
Well,
is this who he is, or is this a caricature? Like, what?
Sinbad
sure that's who he is. I'm sure he's
Sinbad said that this is really who he is. Like this nigga was always like that back then, but he still, hung with us. But he still was that underlying racist ass motherfucker.
Yeah.
Sinbad has it. He brought that to light because he said, I remember when he used to hang out with all of us too. You know what I'm saying? But he still was just as racist and shit.
Just as racist. Ugh.
He just was even more. Now, at some point, he was more articulate. You know what I'm saying? Than he is now. Now he completely fucked up. He didn't declined.
Too many paint chips.
Yeah.
Check this out. Look, God damn it! Look, we've all been talking about Bert. I'm flipping it.
Well, we are still talking about Bert.
We talking about retarded ass presidents. Bert. Meoshuh,
yes.
2 sons.
Yes.
How does it feel during those trimesters of birth? Like, what do you feel as a woman as you're carrying a whole nother person?
Oh my God.
Males will never understand that, and I don't want to. Thank you, God.
Yeah. I don't even know. It's something. So, okay, so you go through feeling a lot of things. So you feel like this is a beautiful experience. You feel almost, I know, like when I was pregnant with my first son, Donovan, I felt like closer to God in some way when I was carrying, because I was like, okay, well, I'm carrying life. Like I am doing what I feel like is the ultimate, expression of female creation to do. Like I am like a human being is being formed inside of my body. Like this is absolutely amazing. And you know that this has been happening since the beginning of time. Women have always been having babies. Mm-hmm. But when you're the one that's pregnant, you feel like it's your own personal, unique experience that nobody else can relate to. It's the oddest thing. It is. And so I felt closer to God in a lot of ways. But you are consumed with joy. It's a lot of fear because similar to what we're talking about right now, as a Black mother, and you're bringing a Black son into the world, it's hard to not think about the world you're bringing them into. So the world is scary as it is. And then you compound that with the fact that at some point, this little beautiful baby boy is going to be perceived as a threat, to some Karen or to some Ken one day on the street or to some police officer and this whole thing. So you can't help but to think about that. And I really thought about that a lot with my second son, because that was not too long after the Trayvon Martin killing.
Goose.
And yeah, big Goose. You know, like when I had you pregnant with Goose, it was like, oh my God. So just you realize the gravity of what you're bringing them into. But aside from that, it's beautiful. It's identity. It can be identity transforming though, because you knew yourself before birth, before pregnancy, and then there's a you after pregnancy. And sometimes you can vie with trying to get back to that. But I think sometimes, similar to what we talked about, you have to embrace what the new woman you've evolved into, because there's life, because like your life is pretty much divided into, there's life before motherhood and life after motherhood. You'll never be the same, because you would have never experienced love like this before. I know fathers love their children. I just don't know that, and I know you all love your kids to death. Like you love them, you would lay your life down for them. But I just don't know.
It's okay to say that you don't love them. I don't love them. I got you.
I'm trying to grease it up before I'm trying to like grease it up before I slide it.
You love them.
You know, we ain't doing all that.
Right, I want to do the hands and all that, but I'm trying to, keep it real petite. I'm trying to keep it petite, but yeah, it's like
debacle, entanglement, capital, petite.
You know, keep it real petite.
That new word.
Hey, but yeah, it's just something about a mother's love that it's something that defies description.
That's great. I remember when you were here, and I think we was having to talk about. I think me and my mom and you was having to talk about, I guess, religious ideology when it came to the devil and God and all that. And I said, I look at it like the Shack. I remember I told her, look, I know God got to be a woman. Because only a woman, like you were saying at the beginning when you went to it, that's the only time I feel like as human beings that you actually access the God that's within you, because
oh my God,
you're really creating.
Yes.
Like new, like you can take something and create something new that's from something that's already been created. You can't do like what you do at during birth. Like this is a whole new person. Like from you. And I was talking to my wife. I was like, yo, I know that it's something chemical that go on, but I just refuse to let science explain the fact that you go from emptiness inside of your stomach to forming a bones, a structure.
Yes.
And from that, you're like you form organs. You see what I'm saying? Like from whatever go on. Like right now, you can't just manifest or a heart, a brain, a liver.
Exactly.
Like you just can't. So that's like, but from the forming of the two coming together, fucking.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Like.
Amen.
That process, it's like. It's crazy. Like that shit's I don't think people really just sit and think, like literally think of what's going on inside of the woman's body. She actually formed bones.
Yes.
Brain, blood, like blood, bones,
yes.
Brain, eyes, nigga. It's eyes. Like,
yes. Like they're blinking. Like that. Yeah. And that's so funny you say that. Like that I'm like, oh my God, there's a person blinking and like blinking in me right now. Like that is, it blows your mind with each ultrasound that you go see and every doctor appointment, your stomach is getting bigger and you're starting to feel movement, and just how thoughtful God was that he created us to move at a similar rhythm. It's like by these many months they're doing this, and by these many months this has developed, and it was divinely thought out. Like I'm just so amazed by the fact that the heart is one of the first organs to form. I mean, you can see a heartbeat very early.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, this is so that's why I said it was the most divine experience I think I've ever had. I just don't know what could really occur in my life after that could make me feel more close to God.
I'm about to spin it on Dara right quick. Watch this. So on the other end of it, did you know when you shot your shot that you was gonna make a kid, or was you just like
shut the club up?
Right. So on this spin,
come on, seeds.
We're gonna talk about the spiritual now, okay? So I also agree with and you mean when y'all say this is the most spiritual journey you can take. As science being able to explain this shit at all.
No.
Okay. Yeah. When it comes to this,
you don't even need the hospital to have the kids.
Yeah.
You got the proper doula and midwife.
Midwife, yep.
For real fathers that's really there and really into it, like you always hear them say they could feel some things too, and they don't really know.
Feel it, dog. I ain't gonna lie. You gain that like weight.
Yeah, you feel things too. Like it really transcends. Yeah, it transcends everything.
I think that you get more so experience them on the roller coaster, and therefore you feel it because your wife takes a straight demon.
Yeah, like I become even more to me a nurturer during that time just for my wife.
Yeah,
and making sure that hey, she has this and she has that and this. You know, even when Destiny came along. You know, I told Nakia she was pregnant. I already knew she was. Like I just knew it. You know.
What is that?
That was the pun when Destiny came along. Oh, you sleep nigga. You sleep nigga sugar.
Oh Lord.
Sorry. Let's keep going. I'm on my teleport. And
So, I mean, that was a real spiritual journey for me too, and it brought me closer to God because I'm thinking like, damn, I got to bring a daughter into this world. You know what I'm saying? You know, even though that was earlier in that time, and it's still different than this time. Still, it was rough. Like we were saying, growing up in Chicago, you thinking like, damn, you know, this can happen, and shit. Just being black, period. Hell, you already got that on you when you born. You know what I'm saying? Just being born black. You know, you already a threat. Being born black. You know,
born into a war.
Yeah, you born with it. You automatically labeled. You know, it's not even something you have to wait or grow into. Just being any black baby, you know. So the spiritualness of it was like, man, you know, I need to cover this in every way. And D, I think me and you talked about this in another segment when you was like, hey, when my daughter came, it shut down all that shit in my life. I knew I had to change.
Oh yeah, it was a wrap.
You know what I'm saying? Like it was a wrap for all. You know, and then you find yourself, you know, your enemy at that time is the old you. Because it is trying to press itself back in and is trying to keep you from evolving into where you going, and you going there regardless.
But you know what? You might be going there because some of these motherfuckers be deadbeat ass parents.
I mean, and I ain't talking about that. Like I said, I'm talking about real motherfucking parents that's there in no matter what. Whether I know, because you know, a lot of people feel like, hey, I gotta have this great plan, but then you find out, damn it, ain't no plan gonna help you with
ain't no motherfucking plan with this. I swear,
it ain't no plan. You know what I'm saying?
It is not. It is not.
Playing that shit by ear for the longest.
I'm trying to tell you, man.
Shit.
Yeah.
It is just the way you prepare.
It is a lot.
And that's another avenue that brings you closer to God because you like, God, what am I supposed to do?
I'm gonna tell
you, baby, get real sick. It's your first time. Damn it, you on your knees. Lord, please help me.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So you get closer to God.
When it came to the kid, I learned to be, especially with my baby, I learned patience.
Yeah.
Like I had to learn how to be patient and come to peace because kids will test the shit out of you.
Yeah, they test everything.
But then that transfers over into, I think like the best thing I found for me to do is remain keep the kid within me when it came to raising the kid. Like I didn't completely go straight grown. You what I say do, nigga. It was like, no, it was like, yo, I understood. You know, I know how the kid mind works, and it's good to keep that with you when you grown. You can't take everything so strong because you just can't. Like life ain't like that. But see, kids are I love kids because one, there's no cap.
Yeah.
Like there's no cap with kids, right? It's like, yo, I can be whatever the fuck I want to be. I could be a monkey on the moon.
Yeah.
I could be a lion walking, swimming in water. Like, and experience what we tend to do we'll go along with the dream for a long time, and then we be like, eventually, nigga, you cannot be a monkey on the moon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You're a human being.
Right. Absolutely. No. And I think a lot of, even similar to the point, just to add to the point that you were just making, Demetrius, is that, like you said, as a parent, we have to consistently be in a place of trying to learn. I have to parent my child based on who they are. Exactly. Okay, so my mother may have raised me one way. My father may have parented me one way. Okay, but that was me. And you could have not been parenting me on the basis of who I am. You could have just been parenting me based on some parenting ideals that what you wanted me to be, or some parenting ideals that were passed down to you. But
that's the case for most things.
Absolutely, especially in our community. And so I think that we don't look at ourselves as parents, as students, and we are students of our children. We have to allow our children to teach us how to parent them. Now, you can have some set core values that you're going to uphold regardless, but I have to parent Elijah in the way that I know is going to produce the best human out of him, and then I have to parent Donovan according to what I feel is going to produce the best human out of him. I don't even parent them the same. And it's not about favoritism. It's not about giving one more privileges than the other. It's about, I'm trying to parent you based off of your uniqueness. I'm trying to raise up a future world changer, a future leader. So I can't just have this one blanket set of parenting standards that I apply to both of y'all. Now, there are going to be some things, like I said, the core values don't change.
Exactly.
But if I see that you have an analytical mind, or and one has a creative mind, I have to parent you on that basis. And I can't force you to do artistic, creative things, and I see that you're more into, let's just say, I don't know, the law or politics or whatever, even at an early age. It's just, I got to parent you based off of who you are. I have to learn you. It's not that different than even in a loving relationship. I have to love you. Right. I have to learn you to know how to properly love and nurture you.
That's powerful. What you just said. That's extremely powerful. But go ahead, though, Seki, then I'll go.
So bringing it back, right? Just going off of what Mimi just said, right? You remember when we was kids, we more so had the shut door type thing with our parents, like get your ass out here. There's grown folks up in here.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But now I find myself up against technology, and I can't do that same thing. Like I can't tell my kids, go behind and close your door in there, because guess what? They gonna find every fucking thing they need to find out was grown folk shit behind closed doors. So now I have to tell them, you know what I'm saying? Like the shit that was secretive to us, we have to have those conversations.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it takes parenting to a whole nother level, like you said, because I'm like, damn, when I was growing up, that shit was a no-no.
See, that's what I was saying back earlier.
It's a different day.
When I said technology is taking the spots of parents, when I said that back in the gap, technology is really taking over because it's nothing that you can't find out no more. Ain't no secret.
Yes. And earlier, like younger and younger. I'm like, oh my God.
With that,
if you don't tell them, you're going to find out.
They are pushing now. It's in cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not hid.
It's everywhere.
It's in cartoons, it's in books, it's in whatever. Like they will push certain shit. And when it comes to kids, sexuality is what they push a lot.
Yes.
That's wrong too. They pushing that wrong too. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
Like they ain't pushing that shit right.
My thing,
you got to tell them about that too.
Hold off. Like I don't give a fuck if it's hetero or homo. Hold off. It can be heterosexual or homosexual, but hold off.
But you got to explain that shit in a way. Okay, and I had this conversation with somebody else. We do need that conversation with our kids, but we have to explain it in a way where it ain't making it look like this is the devil. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's created by the fucking devil. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't and you try to, put that there, then hell, they're going to be like us. They're going to want to experience it even more because they like, shit, why in the fuck are they trying to keep me from it? It's got to be.
My ideology on Lucy.
You know what I'm saying?
No beef with the man. You know I ain't got no beef.
I'm saying, it's the way it's taught. Like that is just the wrong fucking thing to ever do in your life.
I hate when people, as I got older and the more I read, the wrong and right thing just really fucks me up. It's like, of course, according to my core values, I know wrong from right. You know what I'm saying? But then it's perspective. At least take the time in this situation when it comes to sexuality, take the time to learn to respond, then react. because it's a difference. Responding means that you actually took the time to think, see the perspective, discern, then give your answer. As reacting is emotional and it's quick. Boom, boom, right? Now, for me, when it comes to children, that shouldn't even be in the agenda. It shouldn't even be exposed.
Yeah.
They shouldn't even be thinking about shit like that right now. It shouldn't be in cartoons. It shouldn't be in comic books. It shouldn't be in. You shouldn't have to watch TV shows that's made for kids, and then they have like the kid that's discovering themselves.
Yeah.
All right.
And I say that with all respect. I understand, but no, because even then, if you're old enough now and you living your life, I'm happy for you, your true self. But you didn't see that. That's not something you saw. Oh, see, that's something that you discovered. Given the opportunity to actually discover it. It wasn't something that was in your subconsciously with like throughout what you were watching. That's something that you went through life and then you just discovered, hey, look, this is what I feel gravitate. I gravitate more towards this life. This is me. Like I watched it on TV. And y'all, well, you know what? Yeah, you know, maybe that's me. You know, it wasn't nothing like that. You can't feel like they're pushing it. They push that harder. Like it ain't even no question about it because that wasn't on TV.
No, it was not.
You know what I'm saying? When I was growing up.
How we was growing
up. And the generation after me, it wasn't on TV like that growing up. And the generation after them, it progressed when this reality TV shit kicked over and then like shit just started booming then. So that is a conversation that I feel if it comes up, that's something that you need to personally be able to talk to your child about.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
If you are feeling that way, because what I do hate, I hate when people say like they born. I don't believe you're born that way because that opens up the gate for a lot of people to say they born a certain way. Like you said, born like in the same sex, right? And other people can say, yo, I was born liking little children. I was born wanting to kill motherfuckers. I was born being a pedophile. I was born being crazy. I was born, no. I believe that whatever happened, even if you try it out and you like, yo, pussy ain't for me. Or you try it out, you like, yo, penis is not for me. You know what I'm saying? I would respect that more. It's like, all right, well, bet you tried it. It wasn't for you, and now you figured it out.
I had to say something on that topic, because what I don't understand with that, okay, and this all goes along with birth, okay, shit being born, right? I don't get how you can say you don't like a pussy or a penis, but then you have to have those avenues when you say you don't like that. Like, okay, if you don't like a penis, then why do you have a strap on? You know what I'm saying?
Okay, now look.
If you don't like, you know what I'm saying?
We can get on and off this topic real quick.
Then I don't understand.
Okay, so we can get on and off this topic real quick.
No, and going to what you said, D, because you said motherfuckers say they born that way, right?
Yeah,
but if you're born that way, then I don't understand why you need something you say you hate.
This is my thing, and I would love to have one of my friends who in the LBG, I don't know how to, it's like LBGQ.
LGBTQ.
Yeah, it's a lot of community. I got friends and I got family in it, and I love them all.
I love them too.
I would love to have a conversation because this is my only thing. It's only two things that like rub me wrong. Well, not rub me wrong, but one I don't understand and one I just don't accept. One, don't assume and come up to me and come at me in other ways like that.
Right. Yeah.
Don't do that. Like I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that. Don't do that.
Pretty much. Has that happened to you? Is that happening to you more since you've moved to the A?
This is Mecca.
That's why I'm asking.
Yes, but I can respectfully come at. Like, I know how to respectfully come back. Like, nah, that's not my way. But I think I'm not really flattered. But that's cool. That's not my right. And then we chop it up and be cool after that. But this is the only thing that I'm confused about. And then I get off of it. I completely understand when a man says that he likes other men, and he's a man that like other manly men. Man, what confuses me is when a man likes a man who's super fucking feminine and acts like a woman, and a woman.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's
a female who is mad, aggressive, like a man. Because I'm like, then why not just be with a female, or why not just be with a man? Like it makes more sense to me when a male likes another male and they both like these alpha males, like, what's up, dog? What's up, baby? They just like each other. Then I go up to them, there's one nigga that act like DMX and the other nigga who act like Magic Johnson's son. Like, so, but that's confusing to me, and this is just me. It's confusing me because it's like, if that's the case, you could just get a woman.
Right. That's my whole thing. Like, even on the physical,
it's like, I don't get that aspect. That's the only thing that confuses me, because it's like, yo, if you like all the feminine way, and this nigga is highly like flamboyant feminine, you could just get a woman. Like, I don't get it. I don't get that. That's the only thing I don't get. Like, that throws me off when I see two women that's like, you know, they women and they just like each other. I'm like, all right, cool, you love the feminine side of a woman. That's what you like. When I see two dudes and they like masculine alpha dudes, I'm like, all right, that makes sense. But when I see a nigga with a nigga who acting like a woman, my mind instantly like, what the fuck? Like, nigga.
But you know what's funny to me is that it almost, I don't want to say necessarily confuses me, but it almost, I don't know. It's when I see two masculine men together or two feminine women together, that almost looks more, I'm almost more curious when I look at that than I do what, you know what I mean? Like the situation that you described, a masculine man, you know, with a feminine man. It's like, to me, it's like, I don't know. And I guess because in my mind, I'm still processing homosexuality with a heterosexual mindset. So I'm looking at masculine and feminine. And so I'm like, oh, okay. But when I see two masculine men, and I think some of it, again, I think we've just been indoctrinated to look at homosexuality in a very linear lens. So it's like, you should look gay to me. Like, you should sound, because we have an idea that there's a look to it. There's a sound to it. There's a way to it. And so when you're masculine, and both of y'all are masculine, I think we just have to be unindoctrinated and relearned on sexuality, you know, the spectrum.
I had a conversation with
you know, the spectrum of sexuality, because it's a spectrum. It's a lot of gray in there, and I think that we have to really be taught on that. And I think that's why you can say, why don't I just be with a woman if you want a feminine man? Or I can say, to see two masculine men together is almost more jarring to me, because we have an idea of what this should look like, whatever that, you know. And it's just not a conversation that's consistently being talked about in a transparent way in our community.
It's not being talked about in a safe way.
In a safe way, exactly.
This is what I'm talking about, y'all.
Exactly.
For instance, okay, that goes back to me saying having the right conversations. And even the gay community needs to open up in that way, because, hey, some people do just want to understand. We're not hating on y'all. We just want to understand, you know what I'm saying? Like, we got questions too, you know what I'm saying? And hell, if you would educate, you know, then you would find out everybody is not against you all. We just trying to find some common ground to see, you know, what you really trying to do, or what it is you're seeing here.
Yo, you know, that's a good topic. We're going to go to that next week.
Went to the restroom on my job, right? We got a couple of people there and then they just walk right in, right? Doing their thing, okay? But they are dressed like a woman. You hear me? They dress like a woman. You know, like, okay, I don't get it. I don't get that, because I don't understand why you have to change your whole appearance into something you say you don't like. You know what I'm saying? And then you like...
Are you talking about transgender people?
I don't even think they transgender. They just a male, you know what I'm saying, that's dressed like a woman. And hey, they don't even like, for instance, we didn't have people have to go to HR because they called them, you know, a man. And they don't be called a man.
They don't identify as okay. Yeah,
so it creates a problem. It'd create a problem if I have my child in the bathroom and you walk in and you standing up. You know what I'm saying? And my child looking at you, they're going to look at me like, damn, daddy, explain what I just seen. Because I saw a woman standing up with a thing just like me pissing in the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? And you have to be able to educate. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just say, "Ooh, accept."
You can't just walk out and not acknowledge that.
Wait a minute.
And just go back to eat. And just go back to the table and eat like it never happened. Like, you don't have to say. We're not gonna act like that didn't just happen.
When my baby busts out and say, "Yeah, the penis guy," or what? The penis woman? What?
No. Wow.
But no, I agree with you guys. We have to create safe spaces. Need to be open up to have those conversations, and there needs to be openness on both sides. It's understandable if some may come to the table feeling a little defensive, because it's like, why can't you just understand and accept my very human experience as valid and real? Because I'm telling you that this is my experience. You can't tell me I was born this way. You can't tell me I wasn't. I think that we have to just come to the table to have this discussion and understand that there's questions on both sides. And as long as we're seeking understanding,
that's
then,
the place. Come from understanding and peace.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
To go back to something right quick before we wrap, I want to ask a question. All right. So since in my mind, right, the ultimate experience of feeling what God feels when he creates is through that sexual encounter.
Yes, agree.
Why do you think that they consider sex before marriage a sin? And when that's the only time that you can create like God.
See, you know, that's why
niggas, let's go.
That's why I said, to me, there is a wrong way of communicating that, because I don't see it like, oh man, it's just this almighty sinful ass thing. I think it's the way that it is presented. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it's presented as though is the devil created it. Is not, you know what I'm saying? It's not supposed to be that type of thing until you get to a certain point. And I agree with that until you can be more responsible with it. Because you know me, hell, I had kids young. I was irresponsible. But I was responsible too, because I wasn't one of them motherfuckers that was just like, I'm not going to take care of my kid. Mm-hmm. And I'm still there, and my kid is here with me, proven. You know what I'm saying? It's fact. Mm-hmm. So I can't, I mean, the kid ain't what make or break you. I don't even think sex makes or break you. It's just being more responsible with things that make or break. You know what I'm saying? What it is that you're trying to accomplish or the purpose that God got for you.
I just want to know why they consider it a sin. That was a good answer. But why do you feel they consider it a sin?
As a sin that's done to you. If I'm remembering the scripture correctly, I think that they considered sex to be one of the one sin that's done, because I don't want to misquote it, but it's like done either to the body.
Versions.
Yeah, but it's separated out, and I think mainly it's considered as that because it's supposed to be an act of covenant. So marriage is covenant. Marriage is the ultimate covenant. That God put out to occur between man and woman. And so because of the power of sex, because it is a powerful thing, even just take the birthing process out of it, but just the actual physical act of sex. As women, we're receivers. And I think as much as we would like to think that there is not like a deposit being made from every man that we sleep with, it is. Whether it's spiritual, emotional, mental, it is.
Thank God.
Absolutely. It is. So I'm not even talking about just Semitic.
Seed, baby.
I'm talking about the seed is not planted every time. It's a beautiful
I ain't talking about that. I'm just talking about, again, as receivers. As receivers, we receive and we store. And that's just that's who we are. And so I think that it's because of the power of sex and intimacy, and what it's ultimately meant to do is to procreate. It's an act that needs to happen under covenant, according to the scripture. And so I think that because of the different things that it opens, the different doors that it can open, that it's considered a sin because I think that's what it was. It's a sin because it's something about it's the one thing that we do with the body. And And I have to really study that to get a better understanding of what specifically makes it a sin, other than just God
I would
said,
like to get a priest on here to break that shit down.
Yeah, I think that would be a really good conversation to have because
I mean, okay. Go ahead, Mimi. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm saying, okay, think about it, right? Most of your sexual urges, feelings, all of that come before you even have sex.
Mm-hmm.
It's a natural occurrence.
It's a natural thing that is like a part of your body.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And even that is explained as being a sin, like even the thought of having sex.
That's my thing too. It's
that's
like,
my
why
thing. Like, so I can't say that because this is a natural part of me. Like, I'm supposed to feel like this.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And then for people who've never experienced the word or Christ or scripture, who's had sex, I mean, how can you actually call them sinning? They ain't never even experienced any of that.
Well, I got two things I'm gonna come with. All right, because we can't go past 2 hours either.
Yeah, shit, we are.
We still got time, but
okay, I'm like, it's getting good.
Yeah, it's getting good. We got at least 15-20 minutes, so we're gonna make it quick. Girl, don't play.
My bad.
All right, so here go the thing. I don't recall, and it's probably in there since I know Daryl's the Bible encyclopedia, and Mimi is like right there with him. Did Adam and Eve get married, or was Eve just made from Adam?
He just called her his wife.
Yeah, he called her his wife.
Right. All right. Right. So me
not
being
girlfriend, cut buddy, none of that.
Me being the NEGUH that I am, nigga that I am, right? You can't really. So with that being said, where it wasn't no ceremony or nothing like that, he just picked him up. I know plenty of niggas who just looked at their female like, yeah, girl,
that is not the same thing. That's not the same thing.
It's the same thing, man.
It is not the same thing as God forming her from his rib.
No, how it's not the same.
I want to covenant with you.
Tell me how it's not the same thing, Mimi.
Him meeting somebody down in the truck.
My wife now. We about to get it on.
No.
You were like, hey, yo, you my wife.
Originally, though, that was the way. Old Testament, that was the way. Solomon and David had a bunch of wives.
They did?
Yeah, they.
Yeah, they had concubines.
They had concubines.
You know what I'm saying? They did.
You know how cold you got to be to have that many wives and concubines? Solomon
had
3 wives.
And for David, that still wasn't enough. He was like, I'm going to take your wife.
David better be king.
David was. Ooh, he was savage.
Hey, you got a David. You better tell that nigga calm. Hey, that's who I need to get on here. He can help me out with the other question. David, like a preacher, he can help me out. Right,
help you out.
So that's one. I'm trying to think of. Okay, shit. What's the other one? Okay. I had the other one. I'm having Mimi syndrome.
You got that Obama just a few minutes.
I just know. No, I know the first one with me was, Adam and Eve. In my mind, they didn't go through a ceremony to be married. It was just like, yo, nigga, you mine now. And if you go off that, it's a lot of law that said that Eve wasn't the first woman made, and then
that's right.
Why it was niggas on the island of Nod when Cain went over there and started his family with his cousin.
Right.
On the island of Nod.
Right.
Yo, so maybe Mimi know how the fuck was it people on the island of Nod? If it was just Adam, Eve, Cain, and Abel, and then Cain went over to the island and had a whole family.
Look.
To think through that, because I'm like, there had to have been a lot of incest in the early days. In the early days of the Bible, it had to be.
Inbreeding.
It had to be a lot of inbreeding going on.
All I'm saying is, in Genesis, it said when God created, He created male, female. When He created man, I think He was talking about man as far as mankind, and then male and female because He brought in both.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't think man actually stood for the masculine male. I think man stood for mankind, and then He explained it further by saying and female.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then in Genesis 2, it comes in with, created, Adam, and then He created Eve from Adam. But it was possible that, it was a male, female there prior. And they do talk about that, even though I haven't prove it, but hell, a lot of the shit, really, in all honesty, we haven't been able to prove it. We just believe it.
Right.
We wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? We just believe it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, think about it, for instance. We really don't know what we did before we became slaves. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? True. We just chose to believe, but we don't know what we was, or religion was, before we became slaves.
The sun.
I don't think that was, we was Christians. You know what I'm saying? I really don't. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Some of it might have been, but that was brand new to us when we was brought over here, and even that was used against us.
Absolutely. And so even in this same vein, I want to ask this question real quick. I've noticed like an uptick in the number of melanated folks who pray to the universe or who credit the universe for blessings, and like the university. So you pray to the universe? Are you a universe and crystals type?
I use the universe in my prayers.
Okay, yeah. So break that down. So I'm just curious, is there some kind of intersection between praying to the universe and just the weight of our, like, do you think that the weight of our blackness is pulling more Black people away from the church because it's like, where is God? Why is he not showing up? And so we're turning to a power that feels more real and available or sure or more felt? Because I just wondered, is it like, why is there such an uptick in the number of us who talk about the universe and crystals, and I'm not criticizing, I'm genuinely curious.
I mean, I feel like this. Okay, do you want to go? Okay, I feel like this with that. The universe has always been there, even in Genesis, when God was creating the world. When He said, "Hell, let be light," He was doing all of that. So that element has always been there. It's not like it never was a part. You know what I'm saying? We kind of just started from this earthly realm. You know what I'm saying? But it was always another realm, and it always been another realm of spirituality. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like when it comes to Black people, really, they know that original design because, hey, they were the first people. You know what I'm saying? But it's hard for us to attach to it because we were broke from it. You know what I'm saying? We can't really tell a story. We don't have nobody.
Oh shit!
What'd you say, now, Chuck?
Oh God!
Damn! Right when he was getting good.
I know, not again. I wanted to see. Does he know he's frozen?
He doesn't. I guarantee you don't know.
It goes back to, we were stripped of everything that we, you know what I'm saying? Stripped of. Can y'all hear me?
Okay, we can hear you now.
Okay.
Midway, don't go all the way back.
See, this is what I'm talking about. You see what I'm saying? The devil don't want me to bring the truth, but I'm gonna bring the motherfucking
highlights of what you saying. Give me a wrap up.
Some cliff notes.
Okay, so all I'm saying is, us being the original people, the universe was out of it. It was stripped from us, and we've been able to deliver what we have on no end. It goes back to everything about the Black people. We can't deliver us because they want us to put our blackness away. But our blackness is the truth. You know what I'm saying? That is the truth. Like we talked about last week, white people been lying to white people, you know what I'm saying? And we kind of just fell in between them lying to each other. You know, we kind of fell into their lies. They want to talk about Christopher Columbus discovering here. That was amongst them motherfuckers. And then they just kind of fell on us to believe that. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. And that's how it's always been. And we've never been able to express what's really real because we have to put our blackness away. And
I agree with that. And it's like, we should not have to be Christian at the exclusion of our blackness. But let me ask you this though. Do you think you can be Christian? And because I acknowledge that there is a universe, it is there. It is a physical entity. But do you think you could be Christian and pray to the universe? Is that idolatry? Is that worshiping a false god?
No, I don't look at it that way.
To say, dear universe,
I mean, it's like we talk about when it comes to money. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's an idol. That's man-made. You know, and people, hell, they do that as a Christian. You know,
they shouldn't worship it though. That's the distinction I'm making. It's the worship.
All right, I'm finna cut in this bitch. I ain't motherfucker. What the fuck wrong with you, nigga? Let me get the word in, sir.
Go ahead, brother, please.
Great. I'm just playing.
Because what I found is when you capitalize and you come together as a one, we can all get along and proceed to the motherland.
Very good points, though, because that nigga's about to go. I got this.
A redfish, a bluefish.
Yeah, exactly.
You did. You made some bomb points, though, cuz. You made some bomb points. Give it doggo. Boom.
All right, so I'm trying to think.
Ooh, I love it.
Question.
Go ahead, bro.
That's dropping that song and they got a little excited.
That nigga just dropped that math on y'all niggas. All right, so the original question is, I believe, why do we pray to the universe, or it detach us from like the actual church, and why it's pulling away from the actual church as opposed to praying to the universe? For me personally, I can't talk for no one else. I don't necessarily pull away from the preacher of the church, right? But I've done my research. You know what I'm saying? Like a big question for people of our culture is, what did we believe in? What did we pray to before Christianity came? So the research is what you need to just research what your people prayed to back then. And most of the time it was the sun. Like they worship the sun. And if you think what the sun does, the sun gives life. When it comes up, the sun, it gives life to the earth. Like, so they really worship the sun. That was their God. And they had Ra, and then Ra had other names that go with it over the years. And if you research the stories, there are several stories that line up with the same story as Jesus. You got Krishna that lines up with the same story as Jesus when it comes to birthday, dying, resurrected, performing miracles. You have the same thing with Ra. Died on the 25th, came back performing miracles. It's like so many stories, but the original comes from Africa. Like it's actually hieroglyphics on walls, right? That give you this story. So what I feel that our culture need to do is, I don't feel you have to choose, discern what you feel, like you can discern what's truth from it. Like a lot of people, like when you put up into it, like if they give you the white Jesus, you got to know, just common sense would tell you white people ain't finna survive in the summers in Africa. That ain't happening. Oh, this nigga got his hands up. He want to say something.
I got a perfect. It just hit me, y'all. I got to say this because it just hit me. Okay, bringing it back to the universe. When we was slaves, right? Okay, we believed in Jesus, but we also believed in that North Star following that North get our ass when we was on. You feel what I'm saying?
But that's a story of Jesus.
But it is, right? So you can say that you don't have to leave your Christian, you know what I'm saying, to attach to the universe, because that Northern Star that's universal. But it was also something that helped bring us out, you know what I'm saying, of bondage. You know, so tying it in, you know what I'm saying, I think that's a perfect analogy of tying it in, you know, because even Harriet Tubman followed that star, you know what I'm saying, to deliver people in the Underground Railroad.
Well, that was more so, she was told to follow the North Star from astrology, because the North Star led to the North. From the South.
Saying, though, it's still all a part of that.
It was, I don't think she looked at it as a spiritual. I can't speak on Harriet Tubman. Let me make that clear. But I don't think she connected it at that time to a spiritual. Connected more to like that's a direction, astrology to go. But she did back then. It was embedded in slaves by that time to go to Christianity. Like before, like they didn't even think to study anything before them then, because they were born into that life of you follow this, because that was what was used for you to have that spiritual strength, but also against you to lie to the will of your master. The universe came about when people actually start studying. They actually had the ability to find this shit and read it without getting killed. You see what I'm saying? Like that came further along the line when people were like, yo, I'm finna pull away from the church and I'm finna move towards praying to the universe is really much just saying you acknowledge that there's a higher power other than yourself that created all this. But you don't have to like completely pull away from the concept of a preacher giving you the word, or what really turns people away from the church per se is the way that some churches operate. That's a man. That's not a spiritual. Spiritually, it affects you because it doesn't sit right. But that is a human thing that makes you pull away from the church, because you get there and some churches contradict exactly what they're preaching. Like you get there, and if you wear a certain thing, they look at you a certain way. If you don't give enough tithe, they look at you a certain way. If you live a certain life, but you there trying to change, they look at you a certain way. If you don't speak the way they speak, you look at you a certain way. So that takes people, like, damn, I come here to try to be better, but y'all judging me the same way that I would be judged if I'm not here. And then some people, and they experienced it now, when you can't go inside the building, you ain't so holy. Like
that's right.
That building, that church, which you are the church, but some people need that actual building to be holy, right? Yeah. Some people need that. And it's like, damn, you need that. You really need that building to feel like you got to worship. Like you can't just worship. You can't just watch and give your time that way and worship. Like you, without being in the presence of, I understand the person-to-person experience, but like you just completely let go of who you were there with. If you can't get dressed up and go there, and you can't do this, like that turns people away. And believe it or not, that's the biggest thing that turns people away from going to the church.
I would totally agree with that.
It's people in the church that judge you worse, like they fucking judge you.
Oh God, yes, I've experienced it. But see, that's religion. That's not Christ. That's religion. And unfortunately, that's what most people are encountering is religion.
The split. Right there, you just said
Christ encountered.
That's what Christ encountered. Exactly.
Now you get it. That's the split that brings that. If I had to go back to it to tie it in, that's the answer to your question.
But then and I like that, but then even to tag on to that, I think that, again, like, do we feel this pressure even as Christians to do that at the absolute, to the exclusion of our Blackness and our Black identity and our Black culture? Because as you see different things that we may do that kind of get us back in touch with our African roots, a lot of the church will coin those things as witchcraft, or coin them as the occult. Or you're tapping into other things and you're opening up doors to other spirits.
I think that's uninformed.
That is.
So this is like a really good conversation, because I think that it does, and that's the thing. And I think that so there's constantly this war between like, okay, I should be able to observe cultural traditions and still observe the fact that, okay, I'm a saved woman on fire for God. I should be able to. The two should be able to coexist. And I think that unintentionally the Black church is making or suggesting to Black folks, either you're going to be about Christ or you're going to do the African thing. And even if you try to do both, you got to do it safely. You have to do the approved things. But if you start looking too far into stuff and start engaging in too many rituals and traditions, now you're tapping into something else, the occult, witchcraft,
which is crazy. That's crazy.
It's a real thing. And so it is a constant struggle, and it's an education piece,
Even with the name Christ, Christ was more of a title. When you research, Christ was a title that they put on people that just, it's weird. Like the thing is, it's missing information. It's a lot of missing information when it comes to our culture. We were stripped of it.
That's what I'm saying.
Learning it piece by piece by piece. We were literally stripped from our culture. So when people look at us and they don't understand, so even how can you build a church upon stripped culture? Building a church, I'm building my foundation on what was given to me, not what I came from.
Right, exactly. I mean, look,
like it's given to me, so I have to build off of this structure. So that's why it's so strong in the Black community, because you was built, like I said, slavery ain't that far behind.
It's not.
You were built off of that. Like that's your foundation for church. The same church that they had during slavery is the same church that transpired over to the building, to the preacher, to this and that and the third. Now, where the church hats and clothes came from, I have no fucking idea. But like
okay, that is right.
Where that came,
But it is a root to that though. There's a reason behind it. I don't know if I saw it. It's some documentary I was watching, but there is a reason behind the whole church dress hat look. It's tied to something.
Because Jesus came in there with them barbecue was 3,000s in the road.
They got so over when they was about to transfer slaves, you know, they have a castle or basically was a place where they kept us before they was going to put us on the boat. Mm-hmm. Okay. And we were kept in these little pits, hundreds of us, these little pits, you know, women on one side, men on the other side, and we were brutalized right there. On top of that, believe it or not, was a church. Okay, it was a building. So they praying above us while we underneath being slaughtered. You know what I'm saying? About to be sent off and put on the boat. You know what I'm saying? We being stripped of everything. And the guy was over there, Mimi, and he was like, he could still smell to this day like the menstrual, you know what I'm saying, cycles of our women. That smell was like embedded in those cells. You know what I'm saying? So you look from that aspect of things like, oh man, it is a church above me. Okay. This is being placed here. Mm-hmm. And then this is the way you being retrained. You know what I'm saying? All across this sea, but you being tortured at the same damn time.
Yeah.
You know, me and Didi talk about this. It's on Netflix. I don't know if you've seen it, but Morgan Freeman.
In Search of God.
Yeah, man. Have you seen that?
No, I have to watch that.
Amazing, because he goes out and he goes into all the religions, and you can even see how they all connect on a spiritual level. Like, you might want to call that a witchcraft or this or that, but really, man, it is a lot of good in all of them, just like a lot of bad in all. You know.
So I'm going, because we working on one. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make a point, then I'm gonna wrap this shit up, because this is my point. This is the only point I want to make, where you just said witchcraft, and then I'm gonna wrap it up. They only connect witchcraft to Black culture. All right, so and on
that note,
I mean, if you think about it,
very true.
All that shit, voodoo and all that in between, was connected with it.
Right, I didn't see that shit connected to Hitler.
Very true, but that's very true.
That nigga just evil.
Yeah, this is a heavy conversation that needs its own separate.
Exactly.
This can go a lot of different angles, but this is
Exactly. So on that,
I had so much more I wanted to say, but Lil Cuz shutting me down.
I'm shutting you down, but you kicking
me out the house? That's
no, I mean, you in the house, nigga, forever.
You said you ain't gotta go home, but you gotta. So that's one of those.
We both in Georgia, so
that's one of those like.
No, it's just one of those. If I go past 2 hours, I ain't gonna be able to make this shit to a podcast. They won't let me do it on the program I use.
Oh,
this
God.
Will definitely be another conversation here. I don't give a fuck. We bring it up next because I've got questions and I want an answer. And that gives motherfuckers time to research. They come back with some answers.
I know. I gotta, that's that Scorpio thing. We get into researching
over here, and he can be like,
right. You get to get him on here.
Hey man, I don't know, man.
Because see, he's more of the, as the Bible straight shooter. I'm definitely the researcher. I'm like, I want to know I want to operate in truth in everything that I do. Exactly. So I'm just like, I'm very much so a believer.
Bible belt, nigga, well, on here, so that way. I ask you questions, he could get deep in that bitch. You know what I'm saying? In that emotional state of it. And I'm like, but
right. We can be questioning.
I know you're gonna find the answer in the Bible, and then I'm just gonna completely go against it just to see what I can get. Because that's the asshole in me. I gotta pull it out of you. I wanna know. And I know
Lord.
And I know David gonna give it to me the smoothest, coolest. I don't want to be disrespectful way.
Right? Yes, he is. Look, man, like, just spit it out.
Look, man, woo. Whoa. You know what I'm saying? That's deep. He might.
That is true.
But I want him on here.
That is true.
But on that note, I'm gonna do this good old Berg salute, and then we'll wrap it up. Mimi, you and David are definitely invited to next week where we can really get on this topic. This is a heavy topic.
Like, it is.
Continue this.
So much to get into that. And, we can birth that shit next week.
Yeah.
It's up to it, down to it. Fuck those who don't do it. We do it because we used to it. Drink, motherfucker, drink. And on that note, we will catch y'all next week. Same time. Same motherfucking channel. Mimi, please let them know all your information right quick. So if they want to get their brand right, they know where to go.
Yes, you can follow me on Facebook at Style73, on Instagram at Style.73. Website www.style73.com.
Y'all heard it. It's gonna be in the shit. Don't worry, but you just need to hear it first. So until next time, y'all be blessed. Stay focused. Stay disciplined. Stay dope.
Stay dope.
Yeah.